Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're gonna talk about ski deals. Now, I find that nobody talks about ski deals for whatever reason, and it is the best time of year to buy skis. I would guess that a lot of the other content comes from people who sell skis, and you make more money if you sell next year's skis, but that's not what I'm about. I'd rather tell you guys all of the great deals out there to help you save a ton of money. So these are all gonna be skis that I have personally tested and liked, and a lot of them, honestly, where they're not even changing the ski for this year, it's just a graphic update. So you're buying the same ski as the next year's ski, but you're saving a ton of money. Or straight up, they're just skis that I tried last year that were great skis and I think are a good value. Especially with tariffs coming up, skis that are typically $550, you could see go up to $700 or $650. We still don't know. I know for a handful of them, they've announced that they're raising prices around 20%, but there's no clear answer on what prices are gonna be. But I know one thing, clear as day, buying skis in the summer from last year's models is the best way to save money. So without further ado, let's help you guys save some money. As always, if you find this helpful and I help you save money, please consider using the affiliate links. That's how I'm able to review skis and be independent, and a percentage of your purchase goes back to the channel without costing you anything extra. So as always, I will have affiliate links down in the description. Please consider using those, as that's what allows me to make these deal videos for you. So anyways, for real this time, let's jump into the deals. Now, I combed through both Evo and Backcountry, and I found that typically Evo was a little bit more aggressively priced to sell. So, you know, I'll go through both of them, and I'm gonna start with Evo and then go to Backcountry. It's kind of one way or the other, and if you have a preference, they're both very good prices. But like, you know, it'd be like $20 cheaper on Evo sometimes. So I'm gonna start with the Evo deals first. The first one I found was the Salomon QST 92 from 2025. They have all the sizes, 152 all the way up to 184. Typically these retail for $550, but you can get them right now for $384.97. That's right, a sub $400 ski. And if the rumors about tariffs are true, it may be a while before you see a sub $400 ski again. So if you're looking as far as like what I think is the lowest price, I think this is good. Salomon has had some issues. I had some QST 106s and the Salomon stances where the top sheet started to kind of fray towards the tips more than I would have liked to see. And they were not covered under warranty for my QST 106s. It wasn't anything structural, but take it with a grain of salt. I do think that these skis are really good as far as like performance to price, but worth taking with a grain of salt that I have found, and I've been reading some comments, that the Salomon skis can struggle as far as durability and long-term lasting. But then, you know, my wife also has like a pair of the Quest 90s or something, or 92s, that have lasted really long. So that's just a sample size of a handful of skis, but take that for what it's worth. But gosh, for $384.97, I don't know. That's still really cheap. You can also get the Salomon QST 98 for $489.97 in the 169 to 189. I feel like if you're looking for a pretty good in-between off-trail ski, this is a great option. I'm not sure it's quite as good of a deal as the QST 92, but if you're kind of wanting to get into powder and you're very off-trail oriented, it is a good option. I just would say that the price is so-so here, especially for like the reliability that we're kind of seeing. But if you're in the market for QST 98, I think that's pretty good. Next, we have the Atomic Bent 110. I think this is a better value than that QST 98. It's $524.93. Typically they're $750. I would guess that the prices are probably gonna be closer to $850 or $900 this coming season if some of the forecasting stuff is right. Again, that's just kind of a guessing game. But I think right now getting a Bent 110 for $524.93, and you can get all sizes 164 through 188. It's a fantastic deal. I've talked about it in my review, but the Horizon Tech really helps this ski kind of punch above its weight. It's one of my favorite powder skis for getting in those kind of narrow corridors with brush and bramble where you want powder performance, but you also want a little bit of maneuverability. I do find that I like these more mounted one click back, which is about a 0.5 centimeter back from the recommended mounting point, but you know, maybe demo them or mount a pair of demo bindings if you're not sure. That's my personal preference, is that I enjoy these mounted back a little bit, but then again, I'm not doing tricks or 180s or nose butters, so, you know, if you're looking for that, maybe keep them mounted factory. Oh, this I think is the best value, best deal out there right now. This is the Volkl Mantra 88 for 2025 for $449. Shoot, man, that is a good deal. You get 163 or 170, so not the longest skis, but for $449, I love the Mantra 88. If you're not familiar with it, it used to be called the Kendo, but oh my God, that is a fun ski. Yeah, very good. It has the 4D radius. You just have like a wide variety of turn radiuses you can make. If you like a ski that really turns underneath the middle of the foot, if you want something for like kind of quick hoppy turns, if you want something that's damp and smooth, I really think the Mantra 88, if you have that kind of ski style and if you want kind of a meaty ski that has a lot of turn flexibility, it's such a fun ski. You really, check out my full review. I'll have a full review on it, but I think it's a good value and a phenomenal ski. Going down the Volkl rabbit hole, same for the M7 Mantra, you can get it for $509.99. Now again, that's 163 and 170 centimeter lengths, but the Volkl M7 Mantra, I talked about this in a recent video, it has been my favorite spring skiing ski. It just is so reliable going through bad snow. It's so reliable if you need to go off trail a little bit with light amounts of snow. If you want a ski that carves well, that's damp. I'm a big fan of the M7 Mantra. It's definitely not the lightest or most forgiving ski. It definitely has a certain style that it caters to. You know, if you like kind of being on the tails of the skis more and you're looking for a bad snow crud cutter, I always say this, but you could look at the Enforcer 99. But as far as what I like and what I keep in my car in case the snow's bad, my go-to has been this M7 Mantra. And you can save yourself about almost $340 exactly. What a time to be alive, you know? God, I don't know how I'm the only one that makes content this time of year, but August is one of the best times to buy skis. The quantity is a little bit limited, right? So like sometimes spring can be a little bit better because you have more choices for sizes. But as far as like pricing goes, this is probably the sweet spot. You wait much longer, you get into September and especially October, that's when you're gonna see prices go back up, or that's when you're gonna see the inventory from last year kind of sell out and you're gonna start seeing that 2026 pricing, which is still a little bit up in the air, but either way, 2026 skis are bound to be more expensive than what we're seeing now. So save yourself some money, get yourself a good value ski. You can also get the Volkl Blaze 104 in that blue pink that I have in a 158, 165, 172. This was my favorite light powder ski, right? When you get like kind of that 3 to 8 inches of snow. It's so fun, it's so maneuverable. The hop turns are easy. The like just amount of ability to kind of get in and out of turns. They still carve well. It's definitely a lightweight ski, so you know, don't buy it expecting it to be an M7 Mantra and a Blaze. But if you take the Blaze for what it is one of my favorite light powder skis, which is such a kind of niche category, but it is really fun. And also the way that those tips kind of respond to snow coming over the top, I feel like that feedback is really good. If you're realistic with yourself and you're like, mostly I'm skiing on pretty light amounts of powder, or I like the trees a lot and I want the maneuverability, the Blaze 104 is a phenomenal option. And if you're too proud to wear pink skis, I don't know. That's between like you and a therapist, I don't know. I like the pink personally. I can get why people are sensitive to it, I guess, but I just don't care. And I actually, counterpoint, think the pink looks very cool. Up next, we have the Atomic Bent 100. I feel like this is a very good in-between ski where you're maybe new to powder, you're trying it out, you want something maneuverable again for the trees, but you're not willing to quite commit to a Bent 110. Myself personally, if I was shopping for myself, I would just fully lean into it. Like get yourself an Atomic Maverick 95 or Atomic Maverick 88, I guess of last generation, and then get like a full Atomic Bent 110 or a Bent 120 is what I've really been enjoying. But you know, I'm not gonna judge people for liking the Bent 100. I think it serves a lot of purpose. I think that if you don't like skiing on hard snow and you want kind of a ski that, I don't want to say one ski quiver because I hate that term, or do it all, but if you want something with a lot of range that can cover you in a lot of different conditions, this is a very sound option. I just don't like building quivers out that way. I would rather be like, okay, I'm gonna be on a Maverick 88 and a bent 120, or I'm gonna be on a, you know, Mantra 88 and a bent 110, whatever, however you wanna slice it. I don't love these kind of in-between skis, but there's no denying that they're really fun. I had a lot of fun skiing on them. I just think that if you're gonna get a ski like that, kind of fully commit to the Horizon tech being implemented on a wider ski. At least for me, it's like, just lean into it. Get the full atomic bent experience if you're gonna do anything. But if you wanna kind of like dip your toes into the powder skiing and you're not wanting to get into those big powder situations, or you want a ski that's gonna give you a lot of range, hard to blame you here. And at $450, $497, these are a screaming deal. Atomic Bent 90 is the second on the list for sub $400 skis. Would I get this or the QST 92? Oh, the QST 92 is a little bit more damp. I might go with the Bent 90 though, honestly. I had a lot of fun with it. It's a very smooth, gradual, large radius turn. And again, I like these mounted back from the factory recommended. But over the QST 92, this might have a little bit more range. QST 92 is a really comfortable daily driver, but the bents don't tend to have as many issues with their top sheets, at least not the pair that I've got sitting in my office. I don't know. It depends on what you like. If you want more dampness out of the ski, go with the QST 92. If you want something that is gonna give you flotation and is lightweight and forgiving, the Bent 90 really is a good value ski. I don't know, just depends on your preferences. I don't know why I'm comparing them. You don't have to, but you can get them for $384.97. That is a screaming deal. You get the Horizon Tech, you don't get the full Horizon Tech. It's kind of like just the edges of the Horizon Tech, but it's better than the Bent 85 where you get no Horizon Tech, so that's my 2 cents. All right, if you want a big boy Black Crowes Atris, you can get that in a 190 centimeter length. Those are typically $850, but they are down to $594.30. This looks to be the last pair, but it's a pretty long size. The Black Crowes Atris is such a fun, sendy powder ski. I think it's a blast. If you are looking for kind of a freestyle inspired powder ski, if you want something that's gonna really send you down an aggressive line, I felt like the more I skied on this, the better I got skiing off trail. So, it challenged me for sure, and it kind of wants to take an aggressive line, but boy howdy did I have a ton of fun on those. The last one is my ski of the year for last year. This is the Black Crowes Octo in a 185 centimeter length for $629.30. That is just calling my name personally. It's like my size, it's the good price. It's down from $900 to $630. Dang, that's a great buy for somebody. That's kind of their short radius ski. It's a lot like the Black Crowes Mirror's Core, except it doesn't have a twin tip. It has a solid tail, whereas the Mirror's Core kind of has a splayed twin tip tail. This is like a solid platform for you to stand on, and I love it. I think short radius skis are such a cool kind of new subset of skis because it allows you to make aggressive turns, have a lot of fun without having to go really fast and risk getting really hurt. I had so much fun on the Black Crowes Octo. I really, really can't recommend it enough. It's definitely not like a smooth, damp cruiser. If you're looking for like a K2 Mindbender, Volkl Mantra, Nordic Enforcer, this isn't in that vein. But if you want like a pretty soft to build in but firm underfoot ski with a short turn radius, I really think this is one of the coolest designs that I've seen in skiing in probably the last 5 years at least. And don't wait to pay full price. I love the way the graphics on the 2026 look, but you know what? The 2025 also looks really cool, and you can save yourself a couple $100 at least. So that's my 2 cents. It's not the most aggressive price, right? It's not sub 400s, but my God, is it a nice ski. Up next, as far as range and safe bet or versatile ski, my favorite so far for like a ski that I would want to travel with has been the Black Crowes Justis. I skied these out in France, and I could have skied every single day on them. I love them so much. I did the camo, and I also did the Blizzard Anomaly 88, and they all were nice skis. I didn't care for the Anomaly 88, and the camo was okay, but the Justis if I had just been on that ski every single day straight, I would have still had fun. And the days I was on it in powder, the days I was on it for groom runs, I just had so much fun with these skis. They're very kind of, I don't know what the right word is, underappreciated. And, you know, they're not the dampest ski. They definitely kind of have that fiberglass and poplar wood, you know, pinginess if you get into the wrong conditions. But my God, are they smooth, the way the ski hooks up. Chef kiss, beautiful ski. All right, up next you have the Salomon QST 106. This was one of my favorite powder skis a couple seasons ago. I will say now that I've tested more powder skis like the DPS Kaizen, I wouldn't say that these are a 10 out of 10. They're probably closer to like an 8 point something, a high 8 score. I just don't think I had enough kind of knowledge, or knowledge maybe isn't the right word. I hadn't tried enough different powder skis. I didn't grow up with powder skis, so I do like these a lot. They're very surfy. I stand by what I said, that they feel the closest to how snowboarding feels in the powder, but they do have a couple of drawbacks that I noticed after my review is done. I had skied on them for weeks and weeks after, and I found that there's a couple weird things where the tips seem to want to kind of run into each other. It doesn't happen very often. It's like 1 out of 100 turns that you might even kind of see it. And with the top sheets, they did start to kind of fray way early, and Salomon did not honor that warranty. But that all being said, you know, once you get used to them, I do think it's a very fun ski. I do like the way that you kind of sit smoothly in the turn. I like these a lot more than the blanks. If I had to pick a Salomon powder ski, I think this is my favorite that they make. And, you know, if you want to save yourself down from $750 to $524.97, they've got every size 157 up to 189. I think it's a phenomenal deal. The orange is ugly. I'm not sure that the build quality stands up quite to the premium brands, but for what you're getting for the price, I still stand by this is a very fun powder ski. You can also get the Blizzard Anomaly 94 for $524.99 instead of $170 or $188. Oh my gosh, you can still buy an Atomic Maverick 95. I can see why they kind of changed things up and went to the CTI, because as much as I love the Atomic Maverick series, and I think that the new 2026 version is a downgrade, boy, they really, for the last couple seasons I've been doing these deal videos, they've really struggled to sell them. If you know, somebody else's loss is your gain, you can get these for $524.97. They have that sheet of Titanol. This is what Zach skis on. I think it's a great ski. I like it a lot more than the modern Mavericks, but you know, I can see maybe people who are looking for more of a freestyle ski or more forgiving ski, I can see why they're looking at other things. And especially like you can get an Atomic Bent 90 for under $400. I kind of get it. If it was me, I think that this would be the ski I would be buying right now if it was my own money and I had no other skis and I only could like buy one pair. I think it's a great value. I think it's got great versatility. I've been calling from the rooftops how much I like the ski. And anyway, you can get these for $524.97. This is kind of, I guess, the last call for the Atomic Maverick since they are changing it going into next year. I think it's a phenomenal ski. But last call, I guess. I mean, the Maverick is still, the DNA is definitely there, but you can tell with the new 2026 models, they're definitely going in a very different direction. You can also get the Atomic Maverick 105 CTI for $559.97. This is a 170, 178, 185. It's got some similar features to the Atomic Bent series, but it's a little bit more like down the fall line and a little bit more aggressive and just no nonsense. Like the Bent series, you can kind of make quick turns and kind of get through things, and it's a little bit more distractible with its turns. Whereas the Maverick 105 CTI is like very like, okay, where's the fall line? We're headed down this. It's a great ski and it's a lot of fun, but it's got a lot of features of the Bent, but a very different personality. Oh, this one's kind of a surprise deal. It's probably because there's not a lot of sizes, but you can get the Atomic Bent 120 in a 184 for $594.97. This was kind of my big surprise powder ski for the year. I had so much fun in it. I think that Horizon Tech at that width just plows through things while also be able to make pretty good hop turns. It's a lot on your legs. It's not as forgiving as the Bent 110. You definitely have to be a pretty strong skier to get these big boats moving around. But when they do plow through the snow, and because of their size, they actually have a little bit more range in the texture of snow that they go through easily. But once you do get them into the element, it's one of the most rewarding and fun powder skis I've found. It's probably not quite at the level of a DPS Kaizen 112, but my God, at this price, it's nearly half the cost. So I don't know, like what you're getting for the price is very impressive, especially when it's sub $600 like it is right now. And lastly, speaking of the DPS Kaizen 112, you can get that kind of weird Mark Grotjahn color in a 184 for $1,049.97. Typically these are $1,700 skis, and if you can bear that really ugly color, then you can get yourself a screaming deal. I like the Kaizen 112. It's the first ski that like really kind of changed my mind about expensive powder skis, because you look at it on its face value and you're like, oh my God, why are you spending that much for skis? But then you get on them and you're like, oh, my like hamstrings don't hurt, my hips don't hurt, my knees feel more comfortable. Just for longevity and comfort of a ski, I get it now with DPS. And anyway, I think this is a phenomenal deal that a lot of people overlook just for aesthetic reasons. Oh, this is a pretty good deal for the ladies. You can get the Black Rose Octo Birdie in a 167 for $629.30. I've not skied the ski, but if I was shopping for my wife, which I've learned over the years not to do, ask me how I know, right? I just always mess it up is the joke, I guess. But you can get an Atomic Maven 93C for $489.97. I've not skied on these skis personally, but they're a similar platform to the Maverick, and you know, $489 is a pretty good deal. Now let's talk about boots. You can get the Atomic Hawx Prime 130 RS in a 28.5 for $594.97. The Atomic Hawx Prime 110 in most sizes for $350. Jeez, that is so affordable for ski boots. You can get the Salomon S Pro HV 120, which I think is the ski boot Zach was looking at, in pretty much every size for $454.97. That's another thing, right? Are you really gonna wait to pay like $650 to $750 for a pair of ski boots? Or just like get them early in August, start breaking them in, and save yourself $200-300. Seems like easy math to me. I like the Salomon ski boots. They like the material felt good. Like most of the fit felt good. There's just one part that didn't match my foot, and it was like whatever it is about the tops of the ski boots just felt like they were clamping down on the top of my foot, like there wasn't enough room. So, you know, it's not a good fit for me, but the rest of it like felt nice, everything felt premium, and a lot of it's just foot shape. But you can get the Salomon S Pro Alpha 130 in pretty much every size except for like 24 or 25 for $400 rather than $800. This seems like a no-brainer to me. Like, you don't wait to buy ski boots, you're gonna get completely hosed. You can get the touring version, the Salomon Shift Pro 130 for $350 instead of $800. That's more than half off for those of you doing the math at home. Seems like a very easy slam dunk. Oh, also, Arcteryx stuff went on sale. It's down from $900 to $675, and that's for the Arcteryx Sabre SV, which is like the severe weather one. I tested that jacket, and I feel like there were features I didn't like. I didn't like that it didn't have like a pass holder in the sleeve and some quality of life things like the fabric that touches your face. But the rest of it was very nice. As far as material goes and keeping the weather out and keeping kind of airflow going, this is, in my opinion, the best ski jacket on the market as far as like good material. I want to keep dry and I don't want to overheat and I want to have good airflow. All these things I'm talking about. Like just the quality of the material, I think Arcteryx is kind of killing it. So, you know, save yourself a couple $100. It's still a lot of money for a jacket, but you know, that also means that there's a lot of money to be saved in this particular case. They also have a couple other jackets. You can get it in the black or the red. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Maybe I'll come back and record one for Backcountry another night. It's just getting late and I gotta get myself some shut-eye. Get myself some beauty sleep. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys found this helpful. You know, whenever I make these videos, I don't wanna overwhelm you guys or like really promote overconsumption, like buy, buy, buy. But my God, like you can save so much money buying your ski gear this time of year. I say it all the time, and you know, I have a hard time taking my own advice. Like I have a hard time remembering to buy surf gear in the winter. I'm just as guilty as anybody else. But for whatever reason with ski gear, I always remember. And maybe it's because I worked in the summers while I was in high school at different ski shops, right? So I would like have to do the tent sales and have to bring stuff out. But I seem to be better about remembering to buy ski gear in the summer specifically, and it's just such a good way to save money. It's the same stuff, it's just as good. You can save yourself like, you know, 50 to 40%. It's like hundreds of dollars over time. I know skiing's very expensive, so I try to make these videos to help you guys at home and, you know, just like make the videos that I would want to send to my friends or family if they were asking me about deals. So I hope you found this helpful. Please consider liking, subscribing. We have memberships down below. We have, you know, the company Ko-Fi and Venmo. I don't promote those a ton just because I feel like you guys watching is the gift. But, you know, I know people want to donate, and this way gives a larger percentage to the channel, whereas when you do it through the YouTube functions, I think they take like 50%. So those will be down in the description. I really appreciate all of you guys' support, but as always, more than anything, just thanks for taking time out of your day or night to watch my videos. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.